Today we've got a giant box of mystery vehicles for you and things I wasn't expecting to buy today. Went to my local store, a small diecast store, and really cool stuff. Can't wait to get one of those opened up. As well, so that's M2, another M2, little Bronco, and a truck, which is absolutely awesome. We're gonna look at that in a moment, talk about that. Whoa, something really old here. Got a Corgi assembly, or is it Days Gone? I think it was Days Gone, actually. Anyways, we're gonna look at that. It's got this old kind of looking case on it. Some authenticity. And I wonder how these are gonna look in this blazing sunny day. There we go. There they are. Wow, that's a whole lot different. So we're gonna look at all these trucks. And some green light stuff came out. The best of all, guys. Check this out. Pretty cool haul. Come on, you. Get the Matchbox out of the way and look at this stuff that we're gonna look at today in the sun. Maybe not directly in the sun, that might be a bit bright. We've got a lot of old Hot Wheels in here, some Matchbox, Majorette, Corgi, Yatming even, and some weird stuff, which is really cool though. Here's another Days Gone. We'll talk about that vehicle in a moment too. Everything coming out of this box today. And we're here with Nina, of course, who is quite interested in reflections. What is going on, kitty? Okay, I've gone ahead and emptied out this old Tupperware tote. Everything on the table, and in addition to that, I actually picked up a whole bunch of other things that have been kind of just lurking around the perimeter of the Hot Wheels Room Museum near the floor. Things to be reviewed. Pretty much almost all of this stuff came from my local store, Aurelia Diecast, and quite happy to have them in my neighborhood so that I can find old stuff like this, as they do buy and sell other people's collections from time to time, not always, but yeah, so a lot of this stuff came from various things that came into their store, and I was able to negotiate a fair price for the stuff. So here we are. Other bits and bobs have come from local antique stores and just little shops downtown where I'll sometimes find stuff just out randomly for sale. We're going to stick to what was in the box first, the tote, and I'm going to move in on the absolute coolest stuff, I guess. Well, it's all really cool, but some of the stuff that will be most recognizable to you guys will be some older Hot Wheels, including the Hot Bird here with the gold Hot One wheels. It's not exactly uncommon, and as you can see, it is played with. It has some chips on the front of it, but in nice condition, a survivor, so to speak. We've got the Bywayman. There was two of those. We've got the older version here with the blue enamel, the newer version with metallic blue, showing some roll bar damage, unfortunately. The Cobra is pretty new because it's got the 7-spoke wheels, but it's classic Hot Wheels all metal casting anyways. And before we talk about all the interesting trucks, we'll just keep looking at Hot Wheels. Jaguar XJS, really neat. That one's a nice one in blue. Corvette Stingray. The Malibu race car, I think it's called, or something like that. I don't remember exactly. Porsche Turbo, these are nice. Porsche 911 Turbo. Then we've got the Porsche 930 Turbo. Now, both these cars are play-worn. Actually, there's really nothing mint here, but they're cool cars to kind of revisit. It's been a while since I've looked at cars of this vintage in a large assortment close up, so I'm not going to stick to any particular one here because these ones are getting increasingly more play-worn. Front Run and Fairmont's always a favorite of mine, as is the Malibu Taxi. Sheriff Patrol is pretty common, as is the blown Camaro. Murata Stalker, Gold Hot Ones. This one is a France-based car. That one I actually got at the flea market just up the highway from me. So that was just something I threw in here because we haven't looked at it in a while. And it was sitting on the floor. And some other kind of estranged Hot Wheel cars, all basically from the late 70s through to the late 80s. Some from the early 90s. And rounding out the bunch, these were also in the bin. Got a Kidco Corvette, opening doors. The only other car to have opening doors is this Majorette Chevy Impala police car. Both quite common and in terrible condition, as you can see. A Shell, what do they call it when you got multiple trailers? They drive these in Australia. Road train. We got a road train of Shell truck and fuel trailers. So realistically, this truck would have come with one trailer, but there was a second trailer in the box. So pretty cool. Majorette camper trailer with that opening door. An old Yatming Jeep. Plastic base. So that rounds out those Lucy's. Now we'll go over to the other side of the table. Oh, there's a couple more up on the Cruise Night box. Got the Suzuki Quad Racer. That's early 90s. As is the Super Scraper. That's also early 90s. Both very common. And we'll look at the stuff in the packaging after we check out the rest of the loose stuff. Some really old cars here from probably the 60s, maybe late 50s. Got a Husky right here, a Husky Cadillac. Or is that a Cadillac? No, it's not a Cadillac. What is that? Buick Electra. It's still got some bounce in its suspension. That's a pretty neat little old car. Very lightweight, very small, almost HO scale, like 1/87th. Here we have a Cadillac. Check out those big 50s fins. This one is a Lesney, number 27. The Cadillac 60 Special, so it's a 1960 maybe? I don't know. Another Cadillac hearse, made by Lesney. Ambulance, not a hearse, sorry. And we've got some other Lesney trucks over here. The old dump truck, tow truck, the Honda motorcycle trailer. This one's a Husky, shell truck. Pretty beat up Matchbox super fast truck. The vanning van. What's the vampire van? I really wanted one of these vans in nice condition, but lo and behold, I got this one. You can just kind of make out the outline of a bat on the Chevy van. And I think that's a Dodge Charger. And a pair of 1980 Pontiac Bonnevilles made by Ertl. Dukes of Hazzards. Very rough. I've got tons of these things. I just like adding them to my hoard. And over here we've got some interesting vehicles. Now these were separate purchases. Not part of the bulk lot, but we saw them in the bulk lot. This is a Lesney, believe it or not. Giant Lesney truck, very heavy. Steam-powered engine, so probably circa, in real life, early 1900s. You just don't see stuff like this very often anymore. Maybe by Matchbox, actually, not Lesney. Models of yesteryear, 1987, made in Macau. Very heavy, and just something that was really interesting, I thought. I don't have any of these in my collection, so I figured, why not? This did come in the Tupperware tote, and I have one of these, but the box was kind of cracked and broken. It's nice to have one. This one's like mint condition, old Matchbox truck. They're not uncommon, but kind of uncommon to find it in good shape with the steer. That was just hanging out in the back. The whole thing was in a Ziploc bag, so maybe whoever collection this was, for some reason that truck meant more than the rest of it to that person. This was also a flea market find, the Matchbox Town Car. Love this casting. You don't see it very often, and it's got a really interesting kind of base, the chrome plastic and the black plastic. The big old bus, well, that's kind of neat too. Not sure who makes this, but it's really well detailed. Venture, what kind of bus is it? A BET style Bus by EFE 176 scale. Close enough for diecast. It looks pretty cool. And fits kind of nicely in with the, I believe the Matchbox Town car is about 175th scale, so that works out. And over here, this thing is a beast. It's so heavy. And we're going to check it out. Pickfords. I don't know what that is, but it's highly detailed. A big Bedford truck, so it's an English truck. Vanguards is the branding. Made in England by LLado. So that's another Days Gone company, I think. LLado makes Days Gone. Ironic, eh? Days Gone. LLado no longer producing vehicles in this scale that I'm aware of. Perhaps they are, just maybe not in Canada. I don't know if these were ever sold in Canada. And this one was kind of just a random find. I was out for a walk downtown with my girlfriend, and we walked into a little antique store. It looked like it was basically shutting down, and here, lo and behold, was a CQ. So these are typically sold in New Zealand or Australia. Man VW, made in Germany. So I guess they'd be obviously sold in Germany as well as other parts of Europe, but most of my CQ collection seems to have come from Australia. Thanks to Stephen Papa and Peter. So that is that's all the loose stuff, I guess. I think we've looked at everything loose, and now, well, I have a couple more bigger loose items up there. Some race cars. These Formula or Indy? I never know. Might say somewhere on it, but this is a Hot Wheels, actually. Made by Hot Wheels. You wouldn't know by looking at it, but lo and behold, I've got a couple of these, so I recognized it pretty much instantaneously. 1/25th scale, made in Italy. They haven't made these in a while. Fiat 28. And then this one, well, it was there at the same time. We got both these cars for $10 at just a little local store downtown. Renault, Michelin, and Elf branding on it. This is a Borrego. So some interesting steering front wheels on it. Probably not that old, 1/24 scale. It's a little bigger than the Hot Wheel. But it's a mashup sort of video, so I figured I'd just film everything. And we're going to work our way through what's oldest to what's newest. The Racing Champions are the newest items here. I think I bought those last year. So those are not old, but they're just random. So I figured I'd open them up with this video. The Post Office Telephone Special Limited Edition Truck Set. That is... what did we just figure out? That was a Days Gone. I've already forgotten. Anyways, we're going to open that up. First, we'll look at the box. We'll do that in a minute. Then we've got the stock rods by Racing Champions. Look, they made 19,998 of these stock rods. So these are not rare. They're interesting. And I'm definitely opening up because that package is completely UV blown out, the colors, and pretty rough shape. So all of these cars are getting opened up. One of 9,999 on this Racing Champions Mint. Little 60 Chevy Corvair. And the Fresh Cherries. These used to be sold or found in Walmart, made by a company called Motor Max. 1/64 scale. Pretty well detailed. All metal rubber tires. 71 Ford Mustang Sports roof. So kind of neat. I'll open that up, and a 100% Hot Wheels. I never really did collect the 100% series. It's a little before my time. At the time, they were very kind of unaffordable to me, so I never really got into them, and they weren't castings I recognized in the Hot Wheels main line. But some of them are super nice. Well, actually, most of them. And if I can find them at a reasonable price, I'll pick them up. This one's got the dreaded dried out elastic band holding it to the base, so we'll see what happens when we try to carefully remove that. Hopefully no paint or tampo comes with it. And this 4-car set, Cruise Night, well, it's just kind of neat. You know, I don't know if these are overly rare. Probably hard to find in a package that's still pretty good. This one's kind of scuffed up and showing some shelf wear, but it's not dented or, you know, faded or anything like that. No creases in the plastic. And then still in the original shrink wrap is the Hot Wheels Custom Car Designer CD-ROM set. So we'll be sure to check out what the computer requirements are. I'm sure that they are so old they can't be run on current computers. But kind of neat because, well, I mean, most of this is really just junk at this point, but it's got the VW drag bus in there ready for customizations, and it's just kind of floating around in there. So I think I might open this up to get that VW drag bus out, but then again, I don't know. It's kind of cool to see. Like, it's so nostalgic. Maybe we'll leave that one. You guys let me know in the comment if you want to see this opened up in a future video. But I thought we'd look at it anyways. I guess we'll just start with this. So there's a lot to read on here. You can choose all these different things that are on the CD-ROM. Check out the old graphics. Print shop. Department of Motor Vehicles. Wow, as if anyone would want to go visit there. Here it is in the Hot Wheels game. Victory Lane. And it comes with stickers. And you need a printer, obviously, and a really retro haircut. And then I guess you just stick them to the car. And they got the GT Racer pictured on the front here in purple. Looks like there was multiple cars available back then. What a mess. What an absolute mess. Oh, Windows 95. Anyone got a Windows 95 computer still? So here is the next item we're going to open up. And we'll look at the trucks in a moment. But it's got some really interesting artwork on it. A lot of shelfware. I'm not sure how old this is really, but you can pause on that and read about it if you like. I actually have not even read it yet. Maybe I should have done that. Never even realized this was on the back. Kind of just picked everything out of the Tupperware box and my cardboard box and just put it all here. Limited to 7,500 sets. A radio investigation van. CWT truck. General Post Office. And some other things. It would have been nice if it came with a phone booth. I don't see a phone booth in here. Here's a man fixing an insulator, looks like, on the telephone lines. Atop a pole, looking down. Really cool graphics, actually. I have to say I have a new respect for the trucks and the presentation in this packaging after actually having taken a few minutes to speed read through all of this information on the back. The history of the UK postal delivery system, United Kingdom, and subsequent monopoly of the telephone system from the same company, utilizing leftover war vehicles depicted in this collection, some even used in America. So we've got the Ford 30 CWT truck. The canvas-topped trucks had a 1939 Ford V8, a style that originated in the USA, but was also produced in Britain by the Ford Motor Company of Dagenham. So just a lot of really cool information here. It's a really neat set, and it's made by LLado, LLado. And as we saw in the blazing sun, they shine up really nicely. They're kind of dark down here. I don't really have the lighting on them perfectly well, perhaps. But some really neat trucks, and they've got the same ones pictured on the back, and you get this little Days Gone limited edition post office telephones card. Set number 4,494. When were these manufactured? Because they are very cool and very heavy duty. I wouldn't be surprised if these only have been picked out by one old man sometime long ago and then put back in this box for safekeepings. What am I going to do with them? Well, I'll probably get some rusting paint slathered on there, smash them up a little bit with a hammer, and put them in the junkyard. No, I'm just kidding. I wouldn't dare do that. I think these are really cool. And for now, I'm going to keep them with their box so that one day I'm the old man that passes them along involuntarily to a diecast store to resell them to another young man. No, I'm not going to do that either. I don't know what I'm going to do with them, but for now, I know that they don't fit in Plano cases, and I don't have a LLado display set up in my diecast museum. Like with many brands, I just don't have the space to display everything. Many things I would love to display, including these high-quality trucks from LLado. Probably the nicest LLado products, Days Gone. Either way, interchangeable definitions. Some of the nicest ones I have seen in my personal collection. And I do have probably about 30 or 40 of these trucks and buses somewhere in a box from previous purchases. Just really neat. And they are basically like true 1/64 scale. You can see they fit in perfectly well with a Hot Wheels, which are, you know, roughly 1/64 scale. So there's a modern-ish truck. They look really good next to each other. I'm not really sure where I'm going to display them. I'm probably not going to display them alongside Hot Wheels, but the packaging is quite cool. I still haven't figured out what year these were sold. I would say sometime in the late 80s. The last mention on here is October 84. It's part of the historical information of this set. So I'm thinking late 80s, early 90s. What do you guys think? And what do you think of this set? Pretty cool. I spent a lot of time looking at it, but it really was probably one of the coolest items I've picked up, I thought. What are we going to look at next? How about a Hot... There goes the cherry car, but let's look at a Hot Wheels 100% Ford Woody 1948. And it's really nice. Look at all the packaging. What for? Is there anything in there? You think like maybe you're going to get something fun in the box? No, it's just a massive amount of packaging. Total wastefulness of the time. I mean, yes, it's cardboard, and that may or may not be more recyclable than plastic blister packs, but it does come with this big plasticky case in there. And so we're going to just open this up ever so carefully with my knife of infinite thinness. And does that do anything? No. Okay, so it broke the seal, but it's still glued. So that tells me someone has previously opened this. I'm going to go off camera and try to carefully open it. I mean, I don't really know why. The packaging is all beat up. Just get it open. Just get it open, would you? I'm going to keep the packaging on everything. Okay, so there's what happens when you manhandle your packaging. The paint can just go flying off the cardboard. And inside, you can see a limited warranty. Well expired. Not really sure what you need to warrant on a Hot Wheels car. There's some sort of seed. Not really sure why there's a seed in the or cat food. Not sure. Maybe it's mouse food. Who knows? There's the truck. So all that cardboard just recycling, and I gotta now clean the table a little bit here. There's stuff everywhere. Really nice truck. I should grab a 40s Woody from the main line for a side-by-side comparison. Look at this elastic band. I'm going to save taking that elastic off for potentially a different video because I don't want to wreck anything. Or do I? Oh, it's just disintegrating. Never mind. Just kind of falling apart. But I think I'll do that with a different tool. This one could scratch the paint. So a couple screws holding it on. 1998, made in China. What a nice looking truck. I did use the X-Acto blade to clean up the elastic band removal as much as I could. So the hood does open quite nicely now. And you can see it's a really nice model. Mostly metal. Does have a plastic chassis. Rubber tires. And here it is next to the Hot Wheels mainline 40s Woody. For your comparison. Quite a different casting, as you can see. A lot more realistic looking. Now, they're not the same truck, granted, but they're kind of the same style of truck, just different eras. This one looks to be more from the 40s, whereas this one might be from the late 40s, early 50s. Probably said on the packaging, which is already discarded. Either way, very cool. I'm going to put that in my display case along with my other premium Hot Wheels as a loose treasure. I really like them in their out of the packaging. So we'll finish off by looking at the final Hot Wheels in a package, and that is the Cruise Night cars. Only at Amos? Don't know. That's probably a store in the United States. We don't have those here in Canada. And got lots of really cool paint graphics on these cars. Lowriders with pinstriping and all the rest. So what does it say about Cruise Night? Cruise Night Collection. Name of the game on Cruise Night, when drivers of cool custom cars from the past come to see and be seen. So we've got the 32 Deuce, the 55 Chevy Nomad, the Tail Dragger, and that's based on a 41 Mercury Coupe. That's right there. That's pretty cool. 65 Impala. All right, let's open these up, I guess. Again, we've got, looks to be glued side panels. Sorry, you couldn't see that. Well, we'll try anyways. Not returnable if opened. I kind of do want to save the packaging on this one because I feel like it's in pretty good shape. So what are we going to do about that? I'll tell you what we're going to do. We're going to save that for another day because that's just going to take up too much time. And they're just really 4 kind of basic Hot Wheels. Really nice paint jobs. I'm glad that I've finally taken the time to look at these. But this is not the only multi-car pack I have from Hot Wheels over the years, decades. Still sealed up in its package. So I think we'll leave that. I don't want to deal with the glue right now. And we've only got a few things left to look at. This has been a long video already, I'm sure. Kind of get lost in what I'm doing here. Racing Champions is where we're going out on. And that is some old stuff and some new stuff. So, I'm not saving the packaging on any of this stuff. Let's just take a look at it overall. 60 Chevy Corvair. And I didn't forget that I have the fresh cherries to open up as well. So, we'll guess that'll be the final thing. Corvair's coming out of the package after how many years? 1999. It's been sealed in this old packaging, which is now recycling material. That is a long time. 24 years before finally experiencing the loving touch of a collector. Beautifully rendered little Corvair. Oh, okay, no, that's the antenna. It's supposed to be there. Gas cap. That's the gas cap? I don't know. Where's the gas cap on a Corvair? Is the gas tank in the front? Might have to be because the engine's in the back. So, love the details on these little Racing Champion cars. Nice shiny metal base. Looks like I'm the first one to put a fingerprint on it. I'll wipe that off. Don't worry. 60 Corvair it says. Collector number 204. Really nice fit and finish though. And how does it roll? Like it's decent. It's a little lumpy, but it rolls straight and true. Tires are on there nicely. Okay, on to the next one. And that is the stock rods. How long has this been in the package? 20,000. Been in here since 1998, so even longer. 25 years in the package, stock rod. Wow. Now, I think I have this car already somewhere, because I have a whole bunch of stock rods that I opened up. Purchases from Ertl Diecast years ago. Look at the bumper fell right off the car just as soon as I opened it. So it looks like that just has a couple little pins that sheared off maybe. Probably was just being held on by the plastic. Either way, you won't lose the bumper. There's the Impala. And you got Fruit Loops. Toucan Sam is on the back of this car promoting it. Really cool paint job. Needs a bit of a polish with the wiping rag. Even after all these years, you can see the oil pooled up on the roof. Just locked in place in that blister package. Really nicely detailed engine. And for some reason, we got Frankenstein on the front. On the hood. All right. Really cool. It's a nice rolling car, actually. I'll just stick the bumper in the back seat, as you would probably find on that. And you got this kind of silly little stand with a pretty basic card. I guess the idea is you just open it up if you like and put that somewhere. Stock rods exclusive. I think it'll look better off in some sort of diorama or something. So just discard all that stuff. And, well, we've got some new racing champions. We'll finish off with the fresh cherries. So Mr. Motion, I really like the Mr. Motion 68 Chevy Baldwin. Or Baldwin Motion 68 Chevy Chevelle. Nice paint job. They don't produce nearly as many these days. Only 6,800 Legends of the Quarter Mile. Collect all 6. So this is part of a larger lineup. You can read about that if you like. Lineup from previously. So quite a mixture of cars. Typically released. Copyright 2022. So this one's brand new. And I don't save this packaging. Really nothing super special about it. Not really talking about the car all that much. And what a nice looking car. I don't know that there's any opening parts on this one. No. Looks like the hood wants to be a separate piece, but can't seem to get it open. And actually, it's got a plastic base. I would have thought these would have had a metal base. It's quite lightweight. Nice looking car, though, all the same. It's a little bit lumpy. Doesn't roll super well. Okay, the next one is does have a metal base. So why would that one have a plastic base and this one not? They're both from the same series. One 6800. Ford Mustang Mach 1. Yeah, it's the exact same series. Yet the Mustang received a higher quality base. I guess some cost cutting. It still feels very light though. Oh, it's not metal. It's silver plastic. Come on, Ertl. Ertl owns Racing Champions. Did you guys know that? If I did, I'd forgotten. So, decent quality. You can see it's got a little misalignment of the base there because the gas tank's all shifty. Nice louvers on the back window and rear spoiler. Nice looking Mustang. Tires could be straightened out a little bit. But overall, it's pretty nice. Feel like it's a good scale. Good size scale, 1/64th perhaps. There you go. Now the fresh cherries, Series 2, 71 Ford Mustangs. This one's going to have a ton of information about this car, so if you care to read all that, where's the English? There we go. A lot of just kind of specifications on the car itself. And these were, I believe, produced in 2005. So it's probably still about 15, 16 years old. And there's, you know, you can keep that little card back if you really want. There it is. Keep that separate for your car and all of its information. The rest is garbage. And there it is. Now these are all metal, heavy duty little cars. Not quite as fragile feeling for sure. It's got separately transparent little headlights. Now surely the hood opens on this one. No, it doesn't. I thought the hood opened on these cars. Oh well, big deal. It's the one and only time I'll try, most likely. Be a good junkyard car, but I have a nice little collection of fresh cherries cars on the museum wall that this one will likely head to, because I don't have any in the junkyard at the moment. And so when I say the junkyard, I do of course mean the diorama junkyard, which is already overfilled with mostly Greenlight and Auto World, Johnny Lightning, so we don't really need to start putting rare old cars in there too much, or I'm going to forget that I even have them. Well, that's the video, guys. I think I've covered just about everything, and I hope you enjoyed it. Go out there and happy hunting.